Welcome to Wax Talk. Listen to conversations revolving around the business of waxing and the beauty industry. Business advice, technical tips, and honest talk answering questions no one has dared to ask. As a thank you for listening, use promo code PODCAST30 when you shop at Cerapill.com for a big discount on your order. Hi, I am Callie, and I am here with another episode of Wax Talk. Today we are welcoming guests Brad and Megan Skaggs, owners of Beauty of Wealth. And I am so excited to have you guys here because I've recently learned about your story and what you have to offer licensed professionals in the beauty industry. And I mean, it's not often that I'm blown away, but I'm just like, oh my God, I'm older now, but had I had this when I was younger, I think maybe my future would have gone a whole different direction. So welcome to the show, and please tell me what you guys do and what your story is.
Well, thank you so much for having us on, Callie. We really genuinely appreciate it. So,
yes, we are so thankful to be here and to talk to you, everyone, to you guys. But my name is Megan Skaggs, and this is my husband, Brad Skaggs, and we are the owners of Beauty of Wealth. If you want to kind of tell them our story, babe.
Yeah. So basically, this all started. I have a background in finance and real estate. I did real estate development and finance for 12 plus years. And and Megan is still a full-time hairstylist behind the chair. So this all sort of started organically about a year and a half ago. Megan works with about 30 plus women, correct? Yeah. And when we got married about 5 years ago, we were making, she was doing really well behind the chair. I was doing well in my career. But we weren't really taught anything about money, specifically our personal finances. So really, we found ourselves, trying to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And we were buying vehicles that were probably a little out of our price range, maybe purchasing too much house, and just things like that. And we didn't really have any direction of where we wanted our life to go. And so we found ourselves in lifestyle creep. Okay. And before we got married, we really both had a vision of, hey, we want to travel, we want to do X, Y, and Z. And we found ourselves, fast forward a few years, making good money. We still find ourselves in over 6 figures of debt. So we had credit card debt, we owed money to our parents, embarrassingly, we had vehicle loans. And so we were just like, man, this is, not only do we not want to start our marriage out like this, but this is just not the direction. Like, how do we get wealthy? And because she makes really good money behind the chair every
Mm-hmm.
single day, brings home $700-800 or whatever the case is.
Yep.
And so when you start getting into that, you start spending that every day too.
I'm just laughing because yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyways, so basically, with Megan working with all the women at the salon, we decided to make a big drastic lifestyle change. We got rid of our overpriced vehicles. We got into a small apartment. We got rid of all the things we didn't need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we climbed, it took us a couple years, but we're debt free. We climbed out of all of our debt, and we started purchasing some rental properties. And I can get more into specifics on that if you'd like. But essentially, we started creating some passive income away from our jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what really spurred starting Beauty of Wealth is, all the Megan's coworkers saw our transition, and we're like, hey, how do we start investing? How did you do this?
Mm-hmm.
I still have my personal and my business account commingling. I can't figure out my tax write-off. So there's all these things. And Megan and I were just trying to help. We would help set up their LLCs, or we would help them with one-off questions. And eventually Megan and I were just one day eating, and she was like, why don't we just see if we can help as many stylists, and not just stylists, but people in the beauty industry,
Mm-hmm.
estheticians, things like that are set up as business owners. Why don't we see if we can help as many people as possible And so we created Beauty of Wealth that way.
So it's a roadmap from what I understand, right? To tell you
Exactly.
what to do.
Exactly.
This is huge because I have to tell you, like, I've been in this industry a really long time, like 30-ish years, right? And even today, I'm on a lot of the Facebook groups for licensed professionals, whether it be stylists or anybody, massage therapists, estheticians. And it's so funny because, I mean, I'm venturing to, I'm probably making a huge assumption, but if I had to guess, nobody knows what they're doing. And everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Everybody wants to own their own business. And it's so much so that lately, I feel like ever since 2020 and the pandemic, people are like, they don't want to work for anyone anymore. They just want to graduate and open their salon. So I literally read it every single day where someone says, "Oh, like I'm going to graduate in April, so I'm starting my business. I'm going to open my doors in May." And I'm like, "Wait, how are you going to do that?" Like, I'm
Yeah.
old school. So like the way that we did it in the past was like we worked for somebody for a really long time. We built a clientele. We learned like what we wanted to do, what we didn't want to do. But then we knew exactly, like, for me personally, I would know exactly how I would want to build my business, but there's nobody to tell you financially what to do. And I know right now personally, so many stylists who have their own business, but like they don't have a lawyer, they don't have an accountant. April, tax time is here, right? It's upon us. And they don't know. It's like there's a meme going around in these groups that are like, "Oh, April's coming, see you from jail," right? Because they don't
Right.
even know like how to file, like what to claim or what to, it's just they don't know what to do. So I just think that this is huge. The beauty of wealth to help people, to know what to do.
Yeah. I think the coolest thing, Callie, is, you know, whenever Megan came up with this idea, I was like, oh yes. Like with my finance background, I was like, I started put together this course, and Megan was going through it, and she was like, "Oh, this is terrible. Nobody in the beauty industry is going to resonate with this. This doesn't. This is over complicated. You're trying to sound smarter than you are, type situation."
It was too,
So
like,
Megan,
financial, right? Like
yeah, exactly. So Megan was like, "Hey, let me get on the phone with or Instagram, and I'm going to cold call interview 60 plus stylists." And we created a list of 15 questions, 15 to 20 questions,
Ooh.
and we basically asked what stylists wanted to know.
Mhm,
And you hit the nail on the head, Callie, with taxes was the big component of
mhm,
the course, and because that's what everyone feels maybe they're lacking a little bit. And then
mhm.
number two third thing we heard was, we wish we would have started retirement sooner.
Oh,
And
I'm telling you, I feel like I know they always say it's never too late, but I'm much older than both of you, and I just feel like I know, like, intellectually, I know it's not too late, but I feel like, "Oh my god, I've lost so much time," and, regret is not a good feeling.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, right,
But what I do say, and I say this all the time in all of my classes, whether it's your mental health, physical health, whether you're learning a trade where I'm in my training center right now, I always say you have to start where you're at. There's no bad number, there's no bad amount of debt, there's no bad amount that you weigh, your cholesterol, whatever it is. Like you start where you are and then you move forward because you can only better yourself. So I think a lot of people are afraid because a lot of people in our industry, especially because there are a lot of people in our industry that did go to college. They do have a 4-year degree. Maybe they went for business. Maybe who knows what, maybe they're a nurse, maybe they're a doctor even. But I do think overall, a lot of people went to trade school and they don't have a business background. And I think they get nervous. They get scared because they really don't know what to do.
right.
So what would you say to someone who is that person? They're graduating and they're like, "I'm going to open my own business." They have no clients. What would you say to them?
I think you're starting off in a tough spot. You're starting
Yeah.
with no money.
Hmm.
I always like to make sure that your systems are set up correctly. Like if you're just jumping in, you're not even surrounding yourself with the positive people that can make the great impact, that can tell you, hey, you need to start an LLC, you need to have these systems in place, you need to have the tracking of your income and expenses. You're going to have a lot more rougher times ahead because you're just jumping all in when you don't even get your feet wet a little bit. And
Yeah.
I think it's important to surround yourself with like-minded people. If you want to jump all in, that's amazing. That's scary for me,
Me
but that's
too. Me too. I agree. I always say that you have to hire people that are smarter than you because you don't know, you know your craft. Like you could be the best stylist, but you have to hire the people to help you get where you want to be, in my opinion. People certainly do, right? They rent their suite, they can become successful. But I feel like I would be nervous too. I feel like if you just graduated and you want to open your business, I think first you need some clientele. I always say once you have a little bit of a waiting list, you're very, very busy, that is a good time to start, unless you have a lot of money that you are willing to, spend and
Yeah.
live
yeah.
off of for a while because you're probably not going to be making money because people don't know where to find you right away. And I love what you said about having systems in place because another thing I see all the time on professional, usually like Facebook groups, is they talk about, oh, how much should I charge for a enzyme facial or how much should I charge for a balayage? And I'm like, you don't just come up with a number,
Right.
right? Like you have to know like how much it costs you. Like I think that there is actually like an equation for that, right? Like there's a certain percentage. So do you guys know what it is off the top of your head?
Yeah. Go
We
ahead.
have created our own formula. We do a profit and loss and making sure, hey, you want to be in the 50 to above range. I like to say about 50 to 80, making sure that you're getting profit. If you're guessing, hey, how much I did extra 4 bowls of lightener and 3 hours extra time. What should I charge? You're just guessing. You're not benefiting from that. You are really hurting yourself if you don't know the true costs and the ins and outs of your business. And this can seem complicated, but it is so simple. Getting your numbers and just having that again system in place. Starting starting it off right is always the best. But if you want to start where you are now, like you said, it's great, and there's no emotional discounting, and the numbers don't lie.
Ooh, I love that. Tell me more about emotional discounting.
I feel like this is so big in our industry, and
I am totally guilty. I Okay, wait.
same.
I'm just gonna talk about myself for a minute. So
Yeah.
I have a full-time job, right? Like I'm the national training director for Primer Go, where this is where we are right now. But I still do clients and it's funny because I haven't been in the salon full time in like 6 years, right? They won't go to anybody else, which I'm extremely flattered and grateful for. But I haven't probably raised my prices since 2005. Because it's like I'm just so grateful for them. They're like my best friends. So anyway, so
Yes,
yeah, so let's
no.
dive into that. Let's talk about that.
And I feel like that's a lot of us, and then all of a sudden we're like, years later, we're like, oh my gosh, my prices are still the same. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh my gosh, we need to raise our prices $50 a service,
Yeah,
but maybe 5 to 10, and you need to see how much you are spending per ounce, per gram, and all those things. If you go to get I always like to say, like, if you're going to a restaurant and you're getting a soda, they're going to charge you for that soda.
right.
We need to charge accordingly too.
And it's not just that, Callie, but other places like your salon or they're not afraid to go up on your booth rent, and then your products
Hmm.
you're purchasing, they're going up. Things are
Yep.
going up, so they don't feel guilty when they go up on you. You shouldn't feel guilty going up a little bit on your clients as well.
Exactly. And you know what? People understand. Everything's going
Mhm.
up. I mean, I think that a box of gloves has doubled since 2020. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And hair color, bleach, I mean, the products are very expensive. And I really think that most client, I mean, every once in a while you get the client that's going to complain, but overall, people they just pay it. They get their service, they just pay it.
Yeah.
And I remember one time somebody in this industry, I can't remember who it was. It was somebody very well known. I want to say it could have been Mario Chikosi or Frank Gironda. I don't know if you know. We're in Illinois, so they might be they're more like in our area, but some people might know them outside. But I remember one of them said, "Don't spend your clients' money for them." And I thought that was brilliant because that is what happens, like, especially when it's time to go sell retail, or you're not really selling retail. You're like educating them like what they need, what products they need to take home. But people feel guilty and they think like the service provider feels like, "Oh, but that's like really expensive. And if she buys this, maybe she won't buy that." And it's like you can't spend their money because you don't know they could have saved a lot of money for this visit and they want to know what to buy, where I almost feel like it's a disservice to not try to tell them everything that they need. I would want to know. I'm frustrated if I go to get my hair done and I love that smell of that shampoo that they use now. My hair is so soft and shiny and now I check out and I leave and I'm like, I don't even know what she used on my hair. I would be personally frustrated.
I agree, and I
Uh,
feel like it's a disservice as well to not know your how much your products are costing you yourself, you know?
True.
You
Mhm.
Everyone is telling you how, like, Redken and all the products are saying, "Hey, this is how much it is." That's just it. We can't argue with them. You just need to know your profits for sure.
So we are in tax season. And I know everybody's freaking out because they have to do their taxes for their business. So, do you think, okay, so what is your opinion? Do you think that licensed beauty professionals should be that have their own business should be paying their taxes quarterly, or should they wait till the end of the year and just kind of figure out what they owe? What's the best strategy?
so one of the really cool things about Beauty of Wealth, not to sit here and plug Beauty of Wealth, but
No, we need to know. Yeah. We need
well,
to know.
so Megan and I know what we are, and we know what, more importantly, what we are not. We are not CPAs. We're
Mhm.
not licensed CPAs. So we actually did bring on. He's one of my really good friends. That his now ex girlfriend was an esthetician, so he knows the industry really well. But he is a certified public accountant, and he's actually on our roster. So he helps us with these questions. I can tell you that the you are supposed to pay if you are a um, individual business like most booth rent hairstylists are and estheticians. The government wants their money as you make it. So in a
Mhm.
normal W-2 job, they are your taxes are taken out as you make your paycheck every 2 weeks, right?
Mhm.
Well, the IRS wants the same thing, except they expect it quarterly. So if you are not paying quarterly, you are, whether you know it or not, you are being charged a penalty, and on
Ooh.
top of that, you are being charged interest throughout the year. Okay, so
Oh,
if you wait until a lot of
yikes.
people don't know that. A lot of
Mhm.
people don't know that. So if you
Mhm.
wait until the end of the year, let's say it's 2024 now, you decide not to pay in quarterly, and come January of 2025, when you start to go filing all your 2024 stuff, if you didn't pay in quarterly, again, whether you know it or not, you are paying penalties for not
Oy.
paying in, and you are paying interest on the money you didn't pay in. So it is
Whoa.
costing you money. Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
they need to be doing that.
Yes. And not just for that reason, Callie. There's
Yeah.
also another huge reason. The other huge reason is, as I'm sure you can understand, is who the heck wants this $20,000 tax bill at the end of the year,
Mm,
right?
mhm.
So when you're making your money, like for Megan's hair company, every, let's say, $100 she makes, we put $30 into an account for her taxes, and then every quarter we pay in, and then we try to hit the nail on the head, and hopefully we don't overpay, but that way we know at the end of the year we avoid all the interest and penalties, and we also know that we don't have a huge tax bill at the end of the year.
So what about no, I know we talked a little bit about because what I'm thinking about is okay, so right now people are stressed, right? Everything is more expensive. People are stressed out about money. I feel like a lot of professionals in the industry are slower than normal right now, from what I hear. Not everybody, but it's a little bit of a slower time. And so now they just made their 100, now they gotta put the 30 away. And they're like, "I can hardly pay my bills, and now I still have to invest money in something." Like, how do you even invest money if you're feeling like, "I don't even have enough to survive?" What do you do?
Fantastic question. Do you want to take that or me?
You can take it.
Okay. So Megan and I have this talk quite often. So
Mhm,
typically, how most people sort of look at things,
mhm.
and this is my favorite subject. So we have our income, right? We have the money that comes in, and then we have all of our expenses, and then whatever's left over, we sort of hope that we can put that money and invest it, right? Well, is there ever any money left
There's
over?
never any leftover, right?
There's never ever any leftover. So this is not like earth-shattering news, but what has worked for Megan and I for years and years now, and as I mentioned, we got out of debt, we invested. I'm proud to say, at the age of 32, we became millionaires, and we're
I
still increasing
read
that
that.
number. Yeah,
I looked through your website and I was like, "Wow, they're walking talk what do they say? Walking the walk, talking the talk, whatever." You
all of
know?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I don't say that to brag. I'm just saying that
It works.
we what we did works. So basically,
Mhm,
instead of we kind of like flip the equation. Okay,
mhm,
so you have your income that comes in. And the first thing you do is you put money for your investments. You pay yourself first.
mhm,
Okay, and after you do that, then you take what's left over
mhm,
and and you start to you put money away for your taxes, and then you pay your expenses. Okay, because if you're waiting for the day for there just to be magically money at the end of the month, that's never going to happen.
mhm,
But if you, let's say, as a household, you and your partner bring in $10,000 a month, you need to put away, let's say you can put away $500 a month or even less to start with. That's fine. But
mhm,
make sure you start the snowball going. Okay.
mhm,
Just start with something. And then that leaves you, after you put money aside for taxes, that leaves you, $7,000 for your expenses. Here's the biggest piece of advice I can give everybody. Before the month starts, give every single dollar an assignment. Okay. And so
mhm.
prior to March, Megan and I sat down. We do coffee every Sunday morning. We never miss.
I love
And
that.
you can go back and check our story on Instagram. We never miss. And so we, every Sunday, we give our dollar an assignment for the week and even for the month as well. So that
Mhm.
way you're not just guessing at the end of each month, oh, where did my money go? You know specifically where every dollar went.
I love that. And I think times are changing a little bit because I am again back in the day where tips were cash. And had someone told me how to manage all that cash, it would have been much better because you have a lot of cash on you all the time. And you're young, you go out to the club or the bar, you go out to restaurants every night, and then that cash is just it's just gone into the universe.
Yeah.
I think still now though, I mean, if you have your own suite, right, or you have your own business as a licensed professional, I think that's one thing, but I still think, for all the people that work for other people, I mean, tips are still a huge, huge part of your income that I think a lot of people spend. And I remember one time someone told me, "You should try to take your tips and track them." And I did that. One year I tracked every dollar I made, and then I switched it where my tips actually were what I used to pay my bills, and then my actual money went someplace else. So I think like tracking your income is because people don't know where their money's going. And these days everyone's tipping them on Venmo. They have all this money in their Venmo account.
Yeah.
And what so what do you say about tracking your money?
Yeah. I mean, that's such a great point. Do you want to take?
Yeah, we do two things. For my businesses,
Mm-hmm.
we do QuickBooks Self-Employed. It is so easy to track your income and expenses. I like
Uh-huh.
them.
Mm-hmm.
And then personally, we do Monarch. It's an app and it tracks where your money's going. Like, hey,
Oh, that's
you
cool.
spent,
I never heard of it.
yes, and it's awesome. It's $100
Mm-hmm.
for the year,
Mm-hmm.
or $20 a month, and it just kind of says, okay, you're spending $2,000 at bars and restaurants. You're spending like this is how much.
Like,
So,
like you might need to like reel it in a little bit.
Yeah.
yes, just having like an understanding of where your money's going, just so
Mm-hmm.
that at the end of the year you're not like, oh my gosh, I was a 6-figure stylist and I have nothing to show for it. It's just understanding and breaking down those walls of using money as a tool.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I wanted to ask one question. I saw something on, I think it was on, you guys have an Instagram account, right?
Yes,
What is it? What's your account?
beauty of wealth underscore.
Okay. I saw something about a new tax law and like something with like what is it? Like how to avoid a $10,000 fine. Did I see that?
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Okay, very, very important.
Okay.
So there is it's FinCEN, FINCEN.
Okay.
FinCEN is the governing body. It stands for the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, I think, or something like that.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Oh, all right. So what FinCEN is doing is they are requiring, not requesting, requiring that any business, whether you're an esthetician, a hairstylist, whether you pick up trash on the side of the road, if you are an LLC, you must file a what's called a BOI report, and that stands for Beneficial Ownership Interest Report. And you must file a BOI report, and basically, what the FinCEN is trying to do, the reason they're requiring this is there's a lot of money laundering going on. There's a lot of
Yeah.
like shell companies trying to evade
Mhm.
taxes. And so they're trying to, or what the BOI report will do is it basically gives a lot more clarity on who actually owns these LLCs.
Mhm.
So they're not trying to go after booth rent hairstylists or estheticians or anything like that. They're trying to figure out who's got these shell companies and who's laundering money and things like that. But
Mhm.
um, they're taking it so serious that if you filed for a new LLC in the year of 2024, okay, so this year, you have 90 days from the date you form that LLC to file the BOI report. And
Ugh.
if you do not file it, they can charge you up to $500 per day,
Oh.
up to $10,000 max fine.
Whoa.
Okay. Now, one other
Mm.
thing, Callie, if you filed prior to 2024, so if you formed it in 2023, 2022, whatever, you have until the end of the year of 2024. So you have till 12/31/24 to file this BOI report.
Okay. That is very, very good information.
Cool. And we can
It
give
seems
you,
like a key point.
yeah,
Yeah.
we can give you a link to the formation website that will walk you through how to file it. I've done it for, we have about 10 different LLCs, and I've done it for ours. It
Wow.
takes about 10 minutes each LLC to do.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, we'll put that in the show notes. Is there anything else that you think is super important that we haven't covered that you want everyone to know?
Um, I'll speak for me and then you can go. I
Okay.
think we touched on it a tad bit earlier, but start investing early as possible, even if it's just $20, $50. And I love what Megan said. It's if you do, what is it? The service. It's like
If you do like one service, if you just take away one service and put it away and save it, invest it
a
a week,
week.
it can really add up and change your life.
So basically,
Wow. I
one
love
service.
that.
Let's say the service costs $135, or you make $135 from the service. Just if you do, let's say you do 20 or 30 services a week, take one of those services and put it in your retirement account. And if you do that one time or 4 times a month, you're going to max out your
Oh
Roth
my
IRA.
god, yes.
And in 30 years, you're going to have a couple $1 million for your retirement, and you're not relying on Social Security.
I love that tip.
It is just so simple. And just like when you break it down like that, like one thing that I always think is important that I would say, I'm like, hey, we're not special. If we can do it, anyone can do it. It's just putting consistency and showing up for yourself every day, and just knowing that life does happen. It's not going to be perfect every single day, but
Yeah.
just keep showing up for yourself and be proud of yourself of every milestone that you do. Like if you're starting with $50 a week to invest and save, that's amazing. You should be really proud of yourself, and it's going to
Oh,
start to grow.
I love that.
Definitely. Yeah.
You guys are amazing. I love your story. And I think that you have so much to offer so many people in this industry. So again, it is Beauty of Wealth. Tell them, tell them where to find you.
Our website is beautyofwealth.hair.
Oh my God, really? Dot hair? That's so cool.
We had to pay extra for that one.
Yeah.
It's worth every penny. That's so
Oh, yeah.
awesome. Beautyofwealth.hair. Okay.
And then our Instagram is beautyofwealth_. And we started our YouTube channel. We only have one video up right now, but
that's awesome.
Yeah, we're starting to grow our YouTube channel, so come check us out if you can.
Yeah.
I certainly will. We can put a link to that in our show notes too, so people will know where to find you. Again, you have to start somewhere, right?
Yes, exactly.
So you always have to start, first video, first podcast. It has been a pleasure. So Beauty of Wealth. So if they go to your website, that's where the roadmap, the whole program is that they can find, so that is it something they can purchase? What do? They buy it, or they?
So we always do a discovery call with everyone. The discovery call is free. We always like to see where everyone is at currently, their goals, just to make sure that we can help them. And we will go over step by step what we do, what we offer, and if it's a good fit for both of us, then we can move forward and what that investment looks like.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll make sure all of your information is in the show notes, and that people will know where to find you. And it has been an absolute pleasure, and I'm so glad you guys took the time out. I know you're both very busy, to talk to everyone today. I hope that the listeners, have learned a little bit, and that will go and go to your website and learn even more, and just really, take this step to their financial health, right? And really, no matter where they're at, if they're just graduating school, or if they're trying, they've been working for someone for years, they want to open their own business, or maybe they already have their own business. I think all of those people have so much to learn from you guys. And it's just been a pleasure. And I'm really grateful that you have taken the time to be with us today.
Well, thank you for the kind words. Is there anything that we can do for you, Callie?
Oh my gosh, probably, but I mean, when I think about it, it's funny. I'm using this app, and I'm like, okay, I probably need to stop using this, because my niece, who was 24 at the time, was like, oh, I'm using this investment app called Robinhood. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I just started doing that, and now there's a little bit of money in there, and I'm like, I don't know if this is exactly the right place to be putting this. I need to probably transfer it to something a little more legit. But yeah, I'm sure I could use a little help, but I'll go to your website for sure and check it out.
Cool. Yeah, of course.
But you guys, really, I just wish you even more continued success in all your endeavors, and let's keep in touch.
Please. It was so nice talking to you, Callie.
Yes,
You too. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day, you guys.
You too. Bye, Callie.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. And be sure to sign up for our newsletters on our own website, serapill.com. Remember, it's more than just talk about waxing. We're here for you. You are not alone. And as a thank you for listening, be sure to use our promo code, which is podcast30. It's in all caps when you shop at serapill.com.